Welcome back to the second season. Before I even start and to get into the juicy, let me say this is the starter pack for you. Please wear your masks every time wherever you are and social distance if needs be. Social distance, but don't social distance from your loved ones, please. Yeah, don't stay close, not very close, because and then sanitizer. How does it work? Sanitizer. The Simuka sketch show comes back the second season. We're saying it's been a tumultuous season and period where things have been happening off the radar. ZAC, the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, they recently arrested a licensed clerk, one Andrew Matevere, for issuing 350 motor vehicle licenses to importers. So, statutory instrument we cannot import cars that are 10 years old. Statutory instrument 89 of 2021. This statutory instrument says that kana motor yanga manufacturer if 10 years old in terms of manufacturing cannot be brought into this country. So at this particular time, I'm going to interview one of my fellow Zimbabweans who had their cars imported recently. Wow.
Yeah. I guess it's 60 minutes later.
It doesn't be.
It plays its part.
So viewers, on the program we have a raw maize eating empowered Zimbabwean. You are a driver. You've recently bought a car, not one. You've bought a car before. You recently imported a vehicle, and we have been talking about Andrew Matevera, who was arrested by ZAC for issuing importing licenses to about 350 motor vehicle drivers who were importing cars that were not suitable for import. How do you feel about his arrest?
It's the same thing for my driver. I say because I just want to say my birthday, my surprise birthday gifts for my girlfriends. They do actually teach them motor. You know, I don't know why these people they are calling it corruption. If it's benefiting us, the citizens, it's not corruption, it's consumption. But corruption where you shike kuma citizens, no pera kudenga. Saka you find good up 110 that there is a chef, 240 that there is a citizens. So it's balanced, it's more consumption than corruption.
Okay. So this consumption, even if it's not in line with the law, it can be forgiven.
Wangu chini chinorodza kuti unenge waswera uchi apply mota pa before nemachichichi wozongonzwa kuti azichabvumirwe kuti mota yawakatenga isapinde munyika.
Samuri kuti imi zvakafanana nekuti unenge waroora wanyinga musikana wako waroora mukadzi wako usvika naye kumba wabereka kuti aite.
Not the same thing. Apa iwo wangu watobvisa mari yepfuma. Mukadzi zvako unogona kunomudzorera, but mota manje kumaJapan mukadzi anogona kudzoreka, but mota dzinonetsa.
According to the laws that are written down in the law, what do you think should be done to him?
Semunhu akachikora mutemo kekutanga. I think this time around ngava chingomudzorero basa rake. I'm sure because 10 years dzinonetsa pakuti my years gore rine 12 months. Saka I also say 10 years dzacho dziri kusvika papi chaipo with amwe anenge ari 9 years 11 months and then mamwe anenge ari 10 years 2 months. The difference is the same.
So what kind of car did you bring in?
Ini ndakaunza Rome in fact ndakaunza 2 marome ne ndakapinza 3 marome. So after watenga tumaromu unotubvisa paJapan $200, but pakanozolenda unobhadhariswa duty iyo inozoita kuti kasvikawo maybe mu 2.5. and then iye anenge akuzocalculate kuti 10% yemota yawakapinza ndio unozongomupawo, but it's not like a charge. Ingori mari kuti ungoti mapepa ako akasike kufambiswa license. Saka it's not corruption.
But in this case country dzabhanwa iri mota idzi.
Mota dzanga dzabhanwa zvadzo, but sevanhu vakazotaura tatenga mota dzedu kare. Taiti tikapinza idzi bhani pamwe chatangira pamberi.
Any last words?
Noti nini kana une chinhu chako chawakatenga, usamanikidzwe kuchidzorera kana uchichida, chingochitora zvako uchishandise. Because wakachitenga kuti akutochida. Saka umwe munhu angakudze kuti usatenge chinhu chauda kutenga. Zvakafanana nekurambidzwa kukecha, iwe kuda kukecha usina mukadzi. So
My rights.
My rights.
Chaos reigns supreme as the government issuance of IDs. Government yakati vanosara kunyora muna June my external candidates ngavaini vanotora zvitupa, only to realize kuti pane vapfanha vakatena 16 last year vanotonyora vasida. What's worrying is we saw the ugly head of corruption at its best. If you saw the report on TV, Cinema TV that's also TV on TV So on TV they carried the report that they were interviewing these kids, and one thing I realized was these kids are so innocent that they participated in corruption without realizing it's corruption, without realizing by saying it on TV you are implicating yourself in corruption. This is $20 Zach. For us to nip corruption in the bud, we have to start by questioning ourselves. At the end of the day, if someone says, give me money nditeji, irororo basa rake, o asingashande koko, ngatingoti ukasvika makombe mnachida kuita uniradze CV. And asina 5 levels and 2 levels ne degree mundireza mupa $20 because hazviti kuti achinja hurumende. Parents are giving kids money kuti achida ukabata ka 50 in case pada uzobatira something, and I'm like, but 50 you are fueling corruption. I'm not saying stop giving your children money, but amwapire wafana mwajaitsa fana Mr. Akura izokutemeteka kure izo but ukaza porridge kuseni ka unoona usiku sadza temeteka kure izo wafana mwajaitsa.
Tunyora manya uzi kutunyora choko mu. Nina naye pa side umpai ndini yomu.
Rumba ese.
Yes.
Didi mareva wandise.
Usama inaze Mario, kozu kama inaza Mario kampa 20 dokuziva yo. I didn't know yaranganyorwa nemangu letters asiriwo pana.
Moving right along with the show, international news, we cross over to South Africa, Mzansi. Jacob Gaitlegisa Zuma, Msholos, Mshinwami has been incarcerated 15 months in jail. It means that in 15 months, he's got 7 wives. I mean, it's not really something that is going to be like, he's not crying about it. Because if the conjugal rights, if I'm not mistaken, they give you like in twice a month, in 7 by 2. 14 months, by 2, 28 times, by 2, 52. So Jacob Zuma has been incarcerated because of the corruption cases that have been pending. I mean, over the years, he's been implicated, and finally they said, no, this guy, he must report before the courts. And then he said, no, I'm not going there, Mina, no. And they said, for refusing that, we're going to arrest you 15 months. He's like, no, not me, 15, no, he said, no. He refused. And then he was given an ultimatum that if you don't give up yourself, we are going to arrest you. And the South African Police Service were driving to his compound at that moment, and his son Edward Zuma came out. I was like, no one is going to get in. I'm here. He was all alone. All of a sudden, the numbers of the people that have thrown the streets, they disappeared. That's how it is in life. So Edward was there with his knob carry and his spear. And the police were coming. It's like, yeah, he didn't learn from Shaka. So they were defeated because they had no sophisticated weapons. They had no foot, kind of machine gun. Then I would not, it was stand off. Shimbo. Ukaikanda kawani Jacob Zuma akabva speed off the convoy 6-7 cars achienda kujeri. Imagine. And he gets there. You saw the pictures. There is a double bed. There's air conditioner. Akarwara, the only thing that I realized is I want to mask. I think what I'm saying, I think mukazoti aita COVID because angasangana mask, even the person wangana the lady. And I think it's a trip also because why did they put a lady? I mean, didn't they have like male police officers that could deal with Jacob? Because now what else we know that, or maybe it's a female. Jacob! Jacob! You get to have hot female officers, a double bed, 14 wives, 7 wives, 14 times 4, 52. On the show, we have invited a young Zulu boy. Kanshi Zulu boy, I'm meaning a young, full blood, full grown Zulu prince. He's from KwaZulu Natal. He's here today to share the insights on the incarceration of Ubaba. Unjani mshana?
Right.
Great.
COVID.
Indoni. Right. So your leader, Ubaba, has been incarcerated now, and it's very sad. Well, what's your take on his incarceration?
Kuzwisa ubuhlungu ukubana sibona uleader wethu, bemvalele entolongweni. Akwenziwa lokho eAfrica, uvalela uleader wethu entolongweni. Akwenzi lokho. Akwenzi. Into zokubheda lezi, umbheda amasimba la amasimba. Wonke umuntu corrupt. Mawubona besimame befaka amawiki. Namawivu. Corruption. Mawuzofika ekhaya umuntu ozokhiphela iwiki yakho uzona hela ndoda.
What do you think about the photos of his prison cell?
Iyona corruption engikhuluma ngayo le yemtshana. Siyazi ukuthi umsholozi ngumuntu othanda entertainment. So kune time where esasishoota imovie kaMsholozi. So we needed umsholozi ukuthi abe se hotel room efana le la lena elibona kuma pictures. Picture yakudala sishuthi ifilm ka.
So as a supporter, any words of encouragement to Umsholozi? What do you have to say to him and your fellow supporters in the world at large?
Ngifuna ukuthi thina lapha siphandle lapha kumsholozi sizambambela umshini sabe siuchaya siphandelana sishaya umshini 14 wives, 7 wives.
7 wives.
Sabe sibambile ngekho lapha sabe simkhanya. Sabe sishaya umshini.
Any words to those that are behind him getting incarcerated? There are so many theories that we might not say on camera, but we know that there are people that are responsible for him to be incarcerated. Any word for them?
Nxa abantu benama jealous ukuthi umsholozi uyakwazi ukushela abafazi. Umuntu okwazi ukushela uvele uzondwa ngumuntu wonke. So umsholozi uyazi ukushela. Uyamazi umfazi wakho okugcina lo. 20. So ngama jealous abantu kabayeka ama jealous. Nxa umuntu esazi ukushela, funda ukushela kuyena ayikhona ukumbophisa. Akuvumeleka ngamasimba la. Amasimba
ngiyabonga ndoda.
COVID.
Hathi mahlabe Zulu, uzizwile kakona ukuthi uZuma uyashela abafazi. Uyazi ukushela. I know there are those who are saying ukushela shira mabuzman shira kushela shira mabuzman shira. Sports news ezemidlalo umjolo. Right, sports news, this is a segment where we analyze the sporting activities that happen in and around the country, in and around the nation, even in the world. We want to get deeper and understand what's happening. And you know that sports news is not sports news if we don't interrogate the sports as and when they were played. On the international front, sports news, the British former health secretary was caught on camera romping with his advisor. I mean, people were shocked. Hey, he was being advised in that regard. I mean, like, of all things, I think that lady is a good advisor because they managed to cajole. They were doing nothing really. They were just holding each other. I mean, like maybe she had lost a relative, maybe she was crying. It's not like, it's like you know how it is. Like if someone loses something important, you know, like they was holding each other. These are public officials elected. You know, like, I'm sorry. Oh, you lost your pet. Oh, your puppy. Oh, the kiss was a kiss of commiseration. Saying, oh, Maraski, if you had caught them without clothes, then you'd know. And I feel like wrong implication there. So it was a corrupt way of holding public official funds. They say that he was going to be fired because he had abused funds. Wow. So these guys, they were fired and they can now go on and, you know, enjoy some more. It's not like it was going to be awkward for them to be seen together, right, the same graft. But then they were all relinquished of their posts. Now they are normal citizens in love. Moving on closer to home. Woza, sweetie woza, woza. We go to Kadoma, the small gold mining town of Kadoma. Was in the news this week after Alvin Mapranga, 28, who's an artisanal gold miner with Venus Mine at Mkorokoza. When he was caught red-handed bonking. We are using the word bonking because it was a bonk. Like it was a bonk. Like, but he was caught soliciting Munanega Chukumbira, and this guy was caught bonking his mother-in-law. Hey, you got it right. Emilia Munawa, 52, was caught by their daughter. Ndombolo Munawa, 24. So ambuya vakatuma mfana mwana ku Mondoro kuti vakanyeba tanzi antivarkurwa Mondoro chimanya Mondoro no dididi, and then iwomva vasara chidi vachimanya nemkwasha. So apparently mwana anga anenge angambonzwa kuti ndozviri kuitika madhira chakapera chichi ndobva aregedza kuenda bhatso. So paakadzoka akavasvikira hanzi vanga vari muposition yezvimava kutu handiti yanitangana D yana boki saka hanzi vanga vatasa kutoo azokuti vanhu vese pavakapinda tora kanzi benengene hanzi Alvin akangofreeza aitokorokoza ambuya mukorokoza anokorokoza iskoko Alvin, you're my guy. So he froze in real time. And then the girl akazojambira ida warowa hanzi at that moment even my friends emsikana wanga wao, oh, hey, he's gifted, yo. Hanzi they had come to really do justice kuti varowe vanhu, but the other ladies couldn't when they saw Alvin's superpowers, his kryptonite. When they saw his sledgehammer, they couldn't do anything. And the mother-in-law was asked, call 9 moms, like, I don't know what good over me. Ambuya was just clear to the point where I mean, in Mwanonga Garachi, Chemerera, she make my sounds. And to me, I don't know what I'm gonna get wig. And I had to test Kunwati Mwanano deep, and I was not, yeah, it's something you don't want to miss in your life. And I'm saying to myself, saka waita sei andi munoti vanateta vantu zvoti munhu waanofanira kuitawo noise afanira kunyarara munhu akanyarara zvashata. Hanzi mukoti anopiwa nyerere ndoti ndinyararezve hanzi urisi benzi wakaone piko mukoti unopiwa nyerere mwana asingacheme anofira mbereko ndochema moms wotora murume. I mean, so so and Alvin is apparently now the new hero ku Venus Mine because arikutodza vanhu kuti ini ndakaipa zvekudaro ndakarowa moms mo nemhuru yayo. And he's even saying kuti ndatorawa handicap match wrestling yana Triple H here.
Changanyanetsa ndechoti ambuya wacho ndakaitonenetsa because ainikumira kuti inoda kuchemedzwa everyday ndoda kuti asi ndaurwa nyege ini ndati nzamuri ambuya so ndapanda but nena kuti ambuya wacho ndaita sei ndainakirwa nawo because vanga vane dzimwe tamuna tangazi vakaumbwa saka ndakabva ndangoti hari kandingoita sei nokucontrolate
matongozvitiraipa saka munoshandisa mugondoro seranjadzi kana kuti zvitongorowo natural normal chaicho
maya natural chaicho simbe echiborani because nini hangu ndakazvarwa panhau pengini
makanyatsogadzirwa zvakanaka saka anonyatsogona pakati pawamai nemwana ndiani hanjadzi
papa manje ka inini momzi inenge inopisa because momzi ndakairovesa inonzi style unoiziva here style
ndeyamakaita
nenhingini dzedze iwe
zvazvakaringana saka nehanjadzi amunoti maparadzanisa ukama here kana kuva pakati pamai nemwana wavo munozvona zvakaringana munozvonawo semakazvitarisa
hapana ukama waparadzana because iwo mai vacho ndiwakatoda kuti vakatoti mwana wangu hana basa iwo inini ndaitowo sei because mai vacho ka ndaitoada iwo vaitonakirwa nini ende nanhasi vachiri kutoninetsa saka pana ini zvoukama I don't care but mukadzi wangu ndomuda
mukadzi wenyu mumuda saka muchagadzirisa here kuti muve nemukadzi wenyu kana kuti muchangobatanidza vari vaviri
ani ndikutofunga kuti kwamai vacho kaningini kana ari zvinoita here kuti ndingoenda norora mai vacho.
Moving right along, we go on to the commercial break. The commercial break today, we bring you a new format. This season of a new format of the commercial break, where we're going to have a real advert. Yeah, we've made it. We're partners.
Are you tired of just getting anything done? Whether it's your passport, your ID, or your license, or enrolling your kid to a new school without any hassles, or even just boarding a Zupco bus with a tape card when you know you don't have it, but they obviously want it. Well, your problems are going to be a thing of the past. We are so excited to be introducing the Corrupt app or the Corrupt application, whatever you want to call it. All we are offering you is corruption. You can download the application around the world and it's for free as long as you don't get caught. The Corruption app, where everything is possible.
That was the commercial break. Now moving on, we go on to the segment that you love a lot. Your segment, the segment that you have said, this segment, huluju, huluju, zipper. We go on to Aish, the weather.
Tokuchindamidzai kuchirongwa Aish, the weather, with Aish, the weather. What was very part of the weather? To my son, but it's I forgot I know he's Muharare, it's winter time, so we all know that. Kunongotonora. Do you have to really know my degrees kunenge kuchitotonora? But then kana muri vanhu mushika chipaireta kana kuti muri timu remakombi kana kuti anonzi chi mavhenda aunzwe weather how you feel kana uchitonora akumboifile the whole day. Now I've realized kuti weather tina because nogona kutobva makuseni uchitonora then wosvika mutaundi kutanga kutsva kutanga kumhanya. Weather inonyanya affectwa netransport. Mambozoona kuti sekuti tibva kumba makuseni tichiyawo mabasa sesitinoenda mabasa unobva kumba kwenyu uri bho wakapfeka maxima inonzi chi maski then pamunokutanga kupinda murodi kana watopinda mukombi uchipisa imi ndezvewedheri kuti kana ndiutaura zvisiri izvo ndizvo ndewedheri kana kuti kadoma 16 degrees Celsius kuchange kuchitonhora makuseni kozotanga kupisa ava masikati kuchitungisa kunenge kutongori bho wedha kana vachinaya vachitonhora vachipisa correct akuitwe zvisina basa rese tizveri zviwedha kana kuti ndikutorasika zvangu kokumbari imi mbari yakazvimiri mbari is it a city mbari munoiclassify secity yava neharare CBD zvoita nezvekunyepa imambopinda mbari here.
Well, Aish, the weather. Moving right along, before I say bye-bye, my name is Doc Vikela. I have been Doc Vikela. And this is the time when we say that Zimbabwe is a beautiful country. It is a country laden with its own resources, like talent, musical talent. And we say to ourselves, what better way to cap off this beautiful show than to give you one of Zimbabwe's beautiful sounds. My name is Doc Vikela. I will leave you watching a beautiful song that we have dedicated to all those that... Oh, and also, yeah, you might be wondering what's happening here. We decided to, spruce up our look to make sure that the sketch show, how is it my sketch? Sure.
Simudza imo reza wedu we corruption wakazvarwa nemapurisa mavenda nehurumende mabribes nechioko muhombe kumapasipoti nekuzvitupa